Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of Snowfall Season 5, Episode 3. A very, very good episode of this show. There's lots of great stuff that happened. This is a fantastic Jerome and Louie episode. And I think, as all of you know, and as even, Coco Vanderwolf here knows, we have made our opinions of Jerome and Louie very, very clear at this channel.
Also, we're dressed like Christmas because Skully is back. He is such a fun, ridiculous, just fantastic character. I just really like that he's back. It was great.
Skully is the Christmas gift that keeps on giving within the Snowfall world.
That's right. Joke's not funny.
Oh my, okay. The signs that these poor people were having to hold up in that scene it was so sad that they were stuck in that place, but it was also really funny, especially that one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we will get into all of that. Also, we're going to talk about the fact that Franklin knows some of what happened to Alton. We weren't sure in the first two episodes because it was just kind of like not really talked about much, but we will get into all of that. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are here every single week talking about Snowfall after the episode, and you don't want to miss it. Also, follow us over on Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
Let's eat some crow, everybody. I am here. I have got my full crow platter ahead of me because, okay, listen, I was really, really confident after those first two episodes that Franklin had to just be like completely in the dark about Alton in some way. There was just like there was no evidence that he was really thinking about it or wanting to act on it. It was also just nebulous. And I understand there was a time jump and all that other sort of stuff, but I really was sort of down this hole that he was completely and totally unaware. And so to kind of find out early on in this episode that, oh, he actually does recognize that he's missing. My first reaction, was, gee, Snowfall, why couldn't you have told us that sooner in the 2-hour premiere event, given that this was your big cliffhanger at the end of last season? Why did you make me wait? Why did you make me pie myself in the face in a video where I actually genuinely believed he was totally in the dark?
No, I did too. It was a 2-hour premiere. I understand that there's an 11-month time jump, but we as the audience still want to know about that cliffhanger. That cliffhanger was a huge cliffhanger. Like, I think we all assumed that Alton's dead or disappeared. So, I mean, Alton's not around anymore. But I think there's a lot of us that were waiting to see what Franklin's reaction would be. And, well, he did sort of say, well, Alton gets what Alton gets because, he stuck his nose in where he shouldn't have and he knew too much and whatever. I still feel like missing out on him sort of finding out about that and his care and love for his mom, because no matter what his relationship with Alton was, his relationship with his mom is extremely close. He loves her and she loved him. So if he's gone or dead or missing, Sissy is going to be in severe pain, and that's going to put Franklin into pain. We know how much he cares about people.
I
just feel like kind of robbed that we missed out on that moment, because Damson is a really good actor, and to see these really passionate scenes like we saw at the end of this episode with him and Jerome and Louie, I would have really wanted to see that moment.
It's a bummer. Like I wish they had given us more of it, even if we did get a pretty interesting moment with Franklin and Teddy in this episode, sort of going a little bit about this, which, by the way, give me all of the Franklin and Teddy scenes. Teddy's best scenes on the show are the ones that are with Franklin, especially this one where Teddy really tries to paint this picture to Franklin of, I'm just this key in this much larger puzzle. Here are all these other people who could be responsible for what happened, or he could be in, a prison somewhere. There's a lot of different scenarios out there. And,
I like how he also blamed the CIA with trying to be like, hey, I'm not part of the CIA, but you are. And he knows that you are. And it's like, hey, there's lots of people in the CIA that would want Alton dead, including you, Teddy, including you. They were just like, hey, these guys over here, we all part of it. But yeah, no, everybody else but me.
I don't think Teddy's necessarily a terrible liar, but I do think this was a terrible lie just because he has to understand how smart Franklin Saint is. Franklin did not get to where he is by being completely able to be snowed over by everybody, and Franklin's not going to buy this for a minute.
No, and he didn't, which I think is why he pushed further to just be like, okay, you know what? You've given me all these excuses of all these other people that it could be. I'm just going to ask you straight up. Did you do this? Did you have something to do with this? And Teddy straight lies.
Yeah.
At least that's what I feel. We never saw him shoot Alton or do anything, but I think we all feel 99.9% that he took care of Alton. So he lied to Franklin. And this ends up sort of spiraling later, where we saw Franklin, he just doesn't believe it. He's a really smart guy. He knows when he's being lied to. He tries to have a conversation with Gustavo about it, and then realizes that he's in a very specific spot where there could be people listening, and Teddy is. He's still trying to figure out, does Franklin believe me? Does he not believe me? I mean, this relationship between the two of them, it's going to come to a head.
I can't wait for it to come to a head. It's going to be, this is going to be another hot take prediction here. We'll see if it goes better than the ones that I made about Alton in the premiere, but I think there's a good chance that Teddy doesn't come out of this season alive. Like, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for him just because they're not going to kill off Franklin. Like, he's the star of the show, but I could see something like that going on here where Franklin's really going to, even if he didn't love Alton all the time, it's still his father. He's still somebody who I think is going to want vengeance for this.
I'm just giggling over here because in the last video we did, I predicted that Sissy is probably dead. And now that Franklin knows about Alton, I feel like I might be eating crow in the future. It's just, my theory is quickly losing weight because I truly felt that if Sissy was alive, that she would have told Franklin what is going on. And Franklin knows what's going on. So I feel like, my theory of Sissy being dead is not right.
Listen,
we shall see.
I'll save some of the crow platter for you in case. I'm busy chowing down on it. But okay, let's get to the other part of what Teddy and Franklin went through that kind of set in motion everything else in this episode, because Teddy made it clear to him that I'm not going to honor Grady's prices. You're going to do what I want you to do. And that really kind of puts in motion everything with Jerome and Louie. And so much of the meat of this episode is about watching these two in action.
Yeah, I mean, there's also this cop that's around that's really pressuring Louie to give him something because, they've got these quotas, they got to meet, they have to have a certain amount of arrests, and he's fumbling around, he's not getting what he needs. He's asked her to offer someone up. So when all of this is sort of kind of coming together, I was like, okay, it feels like whatever's going to happen in this episode, she's going to have somebody to offer up, which is not actually how it played out. But we ended up in this situation where she realizes, okay, Skully's probably not going to like this, but we have to have this conversation with him. And he's not in a great place. He's, it's, the birthday of his daughter who is no longer with him, and he's not dealing with it while they show up to his place. We talked about this at the beginning. There's 3 guys that are standing outside with no clothes on and blindfolds and signs that are like thief, like liar, joke's not funny. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but like, come on, Skully is so bizarre. Then you get up to his place. It's so sad and nuts. So he's, of course, got balloons everywhere, pink balloons. He's celebrating this birth, which is, of course, really hurting his heart. Then he's got some guy on the floor. He's chopping up with a sword. It's just, it's a really important moment because we see Louie and Jerome go in and tell him the truth about what is going on, or just like, this is the problem. We told you something that was told to us. Now someone else is in charge, and now this is happening. And it's not a place where no one wants to hear that they're going to be sort of having to pay less or get less money or whatever. So he's just like, no. I'm not okay with it. And I mean, if they had caught Skully in another day, maybe he'd be like, okay, I get it.
There are very few things that I will ever relate to with Skully in this episode, but I will say that I relate to him not wanting to get completely screwed over in this negotiation deal, because everyone should want to get theirs in a deal like this. Now, granted, Skully, I love Skully, by the way, but he is just
such a good character.
He is so far off the deep end in this episode that I don't even know how he's ever going to be able to come to the surface ever again. But no, he is very intent on sort of what he wants. But eventually, what we sort of find out within this episode is that there is a real internal power struggle within Skully's own organization, and that brings us into, this other guy, I believe his name is Mello in the episode, who sort of claims, okay, you know what? I can be the new king of the castle. I can be the one who really rises to the top, and he wants the help of Louie and Jerome. They can really make something happen here.
Yeah, and this all works out really well for them, because when Louie and Jerome left Skully's place, they kind of were talking. They were just like, what are we going to do about this? Like, we've promised him that we'll keep the prices the same. And the only way that we can really do that is if we kind of include our own cash in this, and eventually we'll go broke, and eventually he'll just kill us. We can't keep this up. We have to come up with a plan. And then they sort of had this plan where they see this guy who's really ambitious. That's, sort of Skully's right-hand man. And they're just like, oh, we've kind of seen ambitious guys before. And they don't talk about Manboy. But I mean, if we all remember back, Louie was always very nervous about young, ambitious guys. That when they were like, oh, who do we deal with, Manboy or Skully? She was like, oh, let's be with Skully. At least we know what we're dealing with. Yeah, he can be crazy, but we know that his big thing is loyalty, and that's really important to him. But with Manboy, he is ambitious, and we do not know what we're going to get with him. This guy sort of reminded me of that. He's very ambitious. He's, throwing money at the club. He's being very frivolous with everything. And I think it's around that time that they figured out kind of where they were going to go with this plan.
This plan was brilliant. Like, I'll just throw that out there right away, because even like the final sort of confrontation here where they get, Skully's, potential quote-unquote successor in the room, and they're trying to sort of sell this notion of, okay, we've got this taken care of, here is the proof that we've done what we've done. And then it turns out just to be this big elaborate ambush plot, and I kind of had it in the back of my head that maybe something like this could happen, but I did not anticipate all of the lead up. I did not anticipate the exact end result of it. It was really well executed. I gotta give some applause here to Jerome and Louie. Also, I really like Jerome's shirt in this episode, so I give him an extra round for that.
No, it felt like this is where they were kind of going with this. I mean, we've seen Jerome and Louie go through it with Skully, and Skully go through it with them and the whole Saint family. It's just, there's a lot of history there, and it really is sort of the devil you know or the devil you don't know, right? If you take out Skully, now you're dealing with this new guy, and you don't know anything about him. He's willing to turn on Skully, then he's willing to turn on you. So, getting rid of Skully for this guy, you could tell right away. It wasn't going to work out, especially when they all met up and he was right away being like, yeah, Skully's going to screw you, and I don't want that to happen to you, so you guys need to take care of him. Louis just like, I barely know you. Like, there's some trust that's happening here, and we don't all really know each other that well. I was like, okay, so this is not going to go the way that you think it's going to go.
I would have been so mad if they got rid of Skully. Just like for my own...
No, I would have been so mad.
My entertainment value dictates we already lost Manboy. We cannot lose.
He was a great character.
Yeah, we need these big power players on Snowfall for a little while longer, but luckily he is still there. Beyond that...
No, it was a really good setup. Even though I felt like it was coming, it was very, very satisfying.
Yeah.
And so back to that cop, I had actually thought that they were setting it up. Louie was setting it up so that this mellow guy would end up just getting taken away.
I thought there was a good chance of that too. I kind of
know
still...
that Skully probably wouldn't want that because he is part of his organization, but I thought that that's how she was going to deal with it.
Well, it would have been, she could have killed two birds with one stone effectively in doing something like that, because now it feels like, what is the cop guy getting out of all of this at this point?
No, it's gonna get tougher and tougher for her because she is gonna have to offer up somebody at some point, and it's got to be somebody that doesn't matter. And someone like Mello wouldn't have mattered. And if he really just wanted to make sure that he couldn't talk, Skully could have figured that out. We saw him hacking pieces of body of someone else. Yeah. Could have cut out his tongue, cut off his hands. I mean, Skully is Skully, so Skully gonna Skully.
The ultimate thing here is that it seems like Jerome and Louie have a path to their future where they can actually, breathe a tiny bit easier. They got to keep some of the money. Skully didn't want it anyway. So they're okay, ... for now, knowing that there's probably something horrible that's still going to happen. And I hope they're okay from that too.
Yeah, no, I really hope so. This is a really good episode for me because I love Jerome and Louie so much. I just love, I've said this already a million times. I just love their relationship. I love watching them work together. And this is more of what I want to see this season. I don't want to see, a lot of times you see on shows where they break people up or they put problems in the relationship. This season, I want to watch the two of them come together and have problems that they have to deal with against someone else. And it looks like the biggest problem that's going to be coming up is going to be between Louie and Franklin. We had that scene at the end that was so intense. Oh my God, it was so intense where Franklin's kind of like, listen, we can't get these prices, dropped because the issue is really that you guys want to go on your own. And because you want to go on your own, it's making the prices shift. Like, you need to just come back. Like, this is the way it just has to be. Louie is not having it.
This is going to be a problem. Like, this is going to be a really big problem the longer that it goes, because when you're dealing with non-negotiable price points, everybody's still got to find a way to get a little bit of a profit, and Franklin is effectively going to see all of his own profits get eaten away as a result of all of this, and he's not going to have that. And this is where some of the danger could come for Louie and Jerome a little bit later on down the road if they don't get more on board. I do want to see them working with Franklin because I kind of like the idea, of the family being together and all of that, but this isn't going to be so easy as just sort of like snapping your fingers, if I could snap my fingers, and just, there you go, and just having them all be nice and together and happy again.
Yeah, here's the real thing about it that I was kind of surprised that Franklin didn't just offer them, because this project is probably going to be going on for a little while, and Franklin does want out, and I know that he's not going to be able to get out because then what are we watching on the show? Are we gonna watch Franklin just be happy and have a baby and sell real estate? No, but the offer kind of should have still been there where he's like, listen, you guys need to come back for right now. You know that I have a plan to get out of this. I'm moving in a different direction where I want to make things really legit, and you guys want to have your own slice of the pie. So let's get to a position where I can get out and you can just be Teddy's contact and make the money. Like, it can get there. Just be patient. Where was that conversation?
Franklin was he wasn't thinking about that conversation in that moment, clearly.
He was pissed.
Okay, it's time to have a Wanda update here because I'm worried. I'm really worried about Wanda at this point. So she and Franklin have this conversation, and it seems like Franklin's willing to find a place for her, but This is just after Leon was basically like, you don't want any sort of part of all of this. And if I don't want something to happen to Wanda, we love Wanda. We've made this very clear. But if something happens to Wanda because she's slowly being brought back into Franklin's organization here and Leon finds out about it, like, I can't even imagine the size of the rift that would form between Franklin and Leon as a result of that.
I'm just hoping that they didn't exactly say what position she was going to be in.
Yeah.
So what I'm really hoping for is that she was trying to really be like, listen, like, not necessarily back in the game, but maybe working in real estate or working at the office. She has skills to do so. And whatever she doesn't know, she's really smart. She can pick that stuff up really quickly. Like, I feel like in my heart,
yes,
Franklin is going to give her a position that is not going to put her in too much danger, but she might find herself in a spot where she has to keep dealing with like seeing it but saying no, and that it will only take so long. I mean, we saw that with her boss where, you know, he had drugs out. Hey, come on in. She was strong enough to kick it over, but, you know, is she always going to be that strong? I don't know.
Protect Wanda at all costs, Snowfall writers.
I don't want to watch this again. She's already gone through it. We've seen her go so far down into that. It's nice to have that particular story on here of someone who hit rock bottom, climbed out, is sort of showing us the other side of climbing out, which you don't really see on TV all that much. You see people get clean, but then you don't really see how hard it is after you've gotten clean to maintain a life after that. I would like to actually really just see that, have Wanda be that character, that sort of inspiration of, you can get on the other side of it and it won't be easy, but you can get there.
I think this show needs that because this show has so much dark stuff happening and so much death and destruction. I think it's good to have a little bit of hope within all of this. And hopefully Wanda can present all of us with that. But overall, I mean, another really, really good episode of Snowfall. We're sort of getting a picture of where all of these characters land. So hit that subscribe button because we are here going all into Snowfall Season 5 throughout every single episode. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you here next time.